Hi, this is Rachel Paris, and this is my screencast for Wiki, Blog, and Webcast assignment in Education 240, Section 2. And this is my lesson plan. So if we go to Adobe Spark, I have the webcast here, and we can press Preview to view it. So we'll start with watching the weather and scroll down to Introduction. There's a variety of types of weather. These include, but are not limited to, rain, sunshine, snow, clouds, partly sunny, partly cloudy, and thunder and lightning storms. The activities presented here will help further understanding of weather types. So here's a picture of partly sunny, partly cloudy to be an example of a weather type. Then we move on to task, and upon doing the activity, the students should be able to determine the different types of weather as well as make their own weather scenes. Here's another example of a rainy weather. Then the process of this activity is using the Google Drive slides link below. Students can work together to each create a weather scene, thus encompassing each type of weather. So you just click on the link, and that will bring the student to this slide of watching the weather, and then it says using one slide describe a weather scene and insert a picture of the scene. So the students can insert their own slide and describe a weather scene and then insert a picture of that weather scene from the web there, and then we can have a variety of weather scenes that our class can look at together. And then go back to Adobe Spark, and after the process we have a snowy weather scene example. And then resource, Google was used to find appropriate pictures for all the weather types discussed. Just like these pictures were found on Google, and they were just examples of the weather types. So here's sunny. And then I have evaluation, where each student will receive a grade based on how well they knew the different types of weather. If they are able to identify the type of weather and create an accurate weather scene, they will score well on the assessment. So here's cloudy, example of weather. And in conclusion, overall, there are multiple types of weather: rain, sunshine, snow, clouds, partly sunny, partly cloudy, and thunder and lightning storms, like we said already. And in the Google Drive link below here, they will write 2 to 4 sentences describing some of the characteristics of weather that you've learned. So they'll click on the link and it'll bring them there, and that just has the simple direction, and then each student just can pick a spot and write their sentences about what they've learned. And this is the reflection part, as the slides were the collaborative. And then we can go back here for after the conclusion, the reflective, and then there's just one last example of a thunder and lightning storm weather. And then the teacher page. This webcast shares ways to show what students have learned about different types of weather. The objective is that the students will be able to identify weather, expressing the correct weather type upon daily observation, as this is a kindergarten science standard of learning. Thank you for participating.